Okay, hello there viewers and welcome back to another video today. I think this is all working. I've just been having issues with my camera, that's why I was on pause for quite a long time on that intermission screen. But yeah, hello there everybody and welcome to this live stream today. Got a new camera angle as you could see, so this is hopefully going to be the permanent camera angle from now on when I make either live streams or videos. So yeah, this is hopefully the new angle for the long-term future. I'm just checking that this is working. Yes, it is. So we are going to be racing in round one, or I'm not going to be racing, I'm going to be commentating on round one of season 3 of the MRL Racing League Group 3 100 mile series, and we are going to start any second now. So before I start, if I get this up on screen, you can see that is a preview for today's race. So we're racing around Bathurst, got one 26 lap race. So we've only got one race today. So for this new season, only got one race per round. There's no sprint race anymore. It's just the one long 100 mile long feature race. So kind of gone back to the format that we used to have back in season 1 of this series. Hence the Group 3 100 mile series name. So we've got 26 lap race. Tyre wear is set to ×3, so it's the same as last time, but we've now got like a 25 mile extra long race compared to what we used to have in the feature race. So tyre wear is definitely going to be an issue. It's going to be difficult to do the race on 2 sets of super softs. And we have also got fuel set to ×1, but you start on only 50 litres. So the fuel, it's going to get to about halfway race distance. It's going to get you about 50 miles. You do about 1 litre per mile in these Group 3 cars with the fuel ×1, so that's going to be interesting. I don't think anyone's going to be able to do the nose stop on fuel, almost certain of that. Yeah, you're going to use about half the tank by the time you get to half race distance. And anything else to write home about? 15-minute qualifying. So we've got a 15-minute qualifying session now. It'll be much extended. I like that. That's kind of something I advocated for. Stops qualifying from being so desperate. It makes it a little bit more chilled out. Gives you more of a chance to set a lap time. Otherwise, it just becomes a massive slipstream mess qualifying when it's only like 5 minutes long. So yeah, got a much longer qualifying session, and tyre wear and fuel have also been turned off for qualifying. So there should be nobody going around for 15 minutes fuel burning and then doing 1 lap right at the end. So that is the new format for this, and this is the calendar. It's absolutely massive, as you can see, 22 rounds. So yeah, this season is going to be going all the way to the end of this year, visiting pretty much every track in Gran Turismo. So yeah, that is the calendar on screen. You would have seen it as well in the intermission screen. You just saw the thing at the start of this stream. So that's the calendar. So without further ado, then we are pretty much ready to get going, and so we're waiting for one person. And now I've just been messaging them and they're having issues seeing my lobby. So I'm just going to hold on for a few minutes. I'm going to hold on to 35 past. They are a new person. They've never raced with us before, so not sure what's going on there. I've told them to turn their PlayStation off and back on again, because that often genuinely does fix the issue that he's having. Yes, I know, Shake. You want to go to bed? But we've got a player missing. Waiting for a player. Is that, why am I typing this with my controller? I can type this on my keyboard. We'll start at 20:35. I can't remember what his name is now, the guy we were waiting for. Can I get the name up here? Nope, can't remember who it is now. It is TTV Beats 01. Yeah, I don't know who he is either. But yeah, he's new to the league, wants to race tonight, and he's having issues. In fact, I'm going to message him now. Are they coming? If they are not here within the next minute, we will start without them. So yeah, Bathurst, Mount Panorama, not a track I'm that keen on myself, just because of the pinbally nature of the track. You just often around this circuit end up flying off all the walls. But it can be a good track. Can get some very good action, certainly down into the chase and into the turn 3, wherever it's called, Griffin's Bend I think it's called. So yeah, it can be a track for good action. Overtaking over the top of the mountain, no, just forget that. That's just not going to happen. Not unless the person crashes big time, and if they do crash, you'll probably just end up going into the back of them. So yeah, very, very, very difficult to overtake over that mountain, over the skyline, and in down through the dipper. But yeah, those big long straights can make for good action. Well, it's 25. It's 35 past. They're not here. So just gonna start. So as soon as I change the settings over, we will begin. Just double check the settings before I hit go. We've got 15-minute qualifying. Oh, I didn't turn that off. Give me a minute. Good job I checked those settings. Didn't turn the tyre wear off. Still got the same settings as last season. There we go. And as soon as Shake enters, we will begin. Come on, Shake. You're the one that wants to start. Chop chop, we're all waiting. There we go. Right, here we go. For Season 3 of the Motorway Racing League Group 3 100 mile series. So, if I jump to this person here, and go to that, we are commencing. What view is this? Why am I looking at a catch fence? Alright. Okay, this is a good view, viewers. We seem to be stuck on this, staring at a catch fence. Are we not? Oh dear, what a stupid game. There we go. So out of the pits then goes Eddie Barber, Adam Hill, alongside Dimitar Penkov and Ryan Sandel. Ryan Sandel's got out of the pit lane first in his Dodge Viper. Is that a sign of things to come? Probably is, to be honest. He's decided to go with the Viper for the first 4 races of this season. So the way that this season works is that the first, well, you have basically each round, each set of rounds, it's split up into 4. So for the first 4 rounds you have to use the same car, then you can change your car for round 5, and then so on and so forth. You can change your car after round 8, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, Ryan's decided to go with the Viper, surprise surprise, for the first 4 rounds. Dimitar going with the Corvette. He does like that car, and he does like the livery as well. I'm not sure I should be broadcasting that livery, but he does like it. We've got Ankit Dash in the Corvette. Got Sheikh Shabazz in his favourite Nissan GTR. As always, you can't see Jake Beatty. The two of them just hit one another. And then you've got Ollie Smith gone with the Supra. Okay, that's an interesting car choice for a controller player. That can be quite leery on the corner exit. We've got Dimon Ivanov gone with his favourite AMG. JJ Hype gone with the Corvette. Irish Tony also gone with the Corvette. And then we've got Crawl Burrows, Ian Barrows gone with the BMW Z4, which is absolutely rubbish. I don't know why he's gone with that. You'll also notice that for this first round, the lobbies are somewhat random. I mean, I would put an asterisk next to how random they are, a question mark next to that, but they are supposed to be random. Hence why we've got some red drivers in here. Some of the lesser drivers got Irish Tony, Crawl Burrows, Ankit Dash, and one other red player as well. But as the first lap of qualifying then gets underway, got Ryan Sandel going through Harold Corner. Let's go on board with him. Now heading up the big long straight up to Griffin's Bend, up the mountain straight, over this very scary crest. I'm surprised cars don't get airborne over this crest, to be honest. It's such a sudden drop over the other side of it. Braking at the end of the slip road on the left hand side for Griffin's Bend. Do not touch the curb on the inside because it will send you off miles. And then over the big curb on exit, that can split you off as well if you hit that wrong. Now coming up through the cutting, braking just after the left hand kink Really, really difficult, that corner. Ryan's just nailed that. It's so difficult to get right. I really do not like that corner. Just very, very, very tricky. Now, Ryan just had to lift then, going through Quarry Corner, now through Reed Park, into Salmon Park, and then up into McPhillamy Park. Over the crest, very difficult. This Ryan's got this correct as well. He's doing a really good lap here as he comes now down into the dipper after going over the skyline. Going through Quarry Corner, like I was saying, you can just about take that corner flat out if you get it right, but very, very difficult to do so. Now coming in to Forest's Elbow, Ryan took that up well as well. That can be very tricky going over the crest, very easy to go light and lose the back end. Now going up to the the Comrade Straight up to the Chase. For the Chase braking, there's some writing on the wall on the right hand side. You can use it as a reference. So you can pick a letter on the right hand side and use that as a break, that sign event thing. You can use one of the letters of that. Ooh, took too much curb then, going through the Chase. Got a lot of curb then as he hit the apex, very much. Now braking just at the tree on the right hand side for the final corner, coming into Murray's corner. So as Ryan comes out the last corner, up to the start finish line, what is his lap time going to be? I'm going to guess it's going to be a 2-minute dead. Yes it is, 2-minute.3, very quick lap time then for Ryan Sandel. Dimitar not far behind on a 2-minute.4. Adi Barbar, 2-minute.2. He's a gold driver. Adam Hill. Jake Beatty going to set a 2-minute 1.2. Dimman Ivanov, 2-minute.8. What we're going to get from Johnny Newmold, 2-minute 2. He doesn't like this circuit whatsoever. Sheikh Shabazz coming across the line and going to set a 2-minute 1.3. And now Tony McMullen as he comes across the line at 2-minute 5.7. Ankit Dash didn't set a lap time seemingly. Or did 2-minute 3.7, but hasn't registered. That's a bit weird. And then Ian Burrows as he comes across the line, 2-minute 11. So what's happened there? Ankit Dash and Ollie Smith, they've set lap times but haven't set lap times. What? That's what? Is that a glitch? Another glitch? Yet another glitch. Anyone who watched my video earlier will know what I'm talking about, or anybody who watched my live stream yesterday will know what I mean by yet another glitch. We had 5 yesterday when I was live streaming, 5 in one race. Absolutely ridiculous. This game is getting really, really broken nowadays. I'm sure that Polyphony are using this game as a test bed for GT7 because the glitches are just getting worse and worse every time they update the game. So Ryan Sandel then, he's purple at the moment, half a tenth up on his previous best lap time, with him already being on pole as he comes down the Comrade Straight into the Chase. Is he going to be able to improve on this lap? Seemed to take the Chase a lot better then, didn't clobber the curb on the apex, or did just clip the grass on exit though, as he tries to weave his tyres, get rid of the dirt on his tyres. Going through Murray's corner, took a lot of curb through there, that's going to throw him off somewhat. As he comes up to the start finish line, it's just going to be an improvement. Not quite 2-minute.3 as Dimitar, he's gone on to pole. Dimitar, very, very strong round Bathurst, very strong indeed. Was superb round here in season 1, just set a 2-minute.1 to topple Ryan Sandel as his friend Diman Ivanov comes across the line setting at 2-minute.3. So both of the Bulgarians going very, very strong around here today. These two are strong around Bathurst, something which I've noticed very much in the past, as Ollie Smith does finally set a lap time. So I have no idea what's going on there with Ollie. That's very strange. Could be a glitch between me and him. Could be some sort of internet related thing. Ankit Dash, yeah, set a 2-minute.13.3. So did they maybe quit their outlap or something like that? That's one to keep an eye out for. Might have to manually do the grid if it's all wrong, if they're not where they should be. Like I was saying though, the Bulgarians are very, very strong around here. Check out my video from season 1 if you want to see what I'm on about around this circuit, as Dimitar's currently purple by over a tenth. This could be a 159, you know. Saying in Discord earlier, I would love to see someone do a 159 tonight. No one in MRL has ever been able to do a 159 around Bathurst. A number of us have come close. They did a 2-minute.1 around here back in season 1. Dimitar's obviously already done a 2-minute.1 today, so I'd love to see somebody do it today. They will be aided in qualifying as well by the fact that fuel and tyre wear is turned off. So it's going to make their cars significantly quicker in qualifying, which should help to do a 1:59. What's Ryan Sandel on? Is he on a... Oh no, he's ghosted. Okay, so he's... is he about to return to the pits and bought this lap? Or is he just waiting to start another one? I think he's just about to start another one. As we've got Diman coming through the chase. But as Dimitar Penkov comes up to the line, then is he going to improve? Not quite. I think he made a mistake going down the mountain. As I noticed, he was just over a tenth off when he came to the end of Sector 3. How about Diman Ivanov in his AMG? What was he going to do? Is this going to be an improvement? Nope, not quite. 2 minute 1.0. As Adam Hill does improve. Goes up to 7th place then and sets a 2 minute 2.0. And Sheikh Shabazz as well has improved in the Nissan GTR. Got into P4 with a 2 minute 0.7. So that's a good lap then from Sheikh. I think he's put a decent amount of practice into today, and it does show. Right up there, up in 4th place, only half a second off of pole position. As Irish Tony as well has improved, set a 2 minute 3.3, and Ollie Smith has gone up into 8th with a 2 minute 2.3. Ankit Dash as well, 2 minute 5.3. Ankit Dash, one of the red drivers in this race, along with Cruel Burrows, who's just under 2 minute 8.4, and Irish Tony as well. So got 5.5 minutes left of qualifying. With this qualifying being a bit longer, it does obviously make it a little bit more dull. And it does make it as well a little bit tricky to commentate on, but at least it makes it a lot cleaner and a lot less stressful, let's say, for the drivers. A lot less messy. With, you know, people slowing down, trying to get other people's slipstream, all that kind of stuff, all that sort of messy things which you can get when you have a really short qualifying. Oh, Ryan Sandel is in the live chat. Hello, Ryan. Are you listening to whilst you're driving? Ryan, 2 of them changed their tyres on the outlap. That's why they didn't register, because it was an outlap again. Okay. It was a bit weird, though, because Ollie Smith did a 2 minute 6 for his first lap, and Ankit Dash did a 2 minute 3 for their first lap. So, yeah, it might be an outlap, but it did look rather strange at the lap time boards. But as Dimitar Penkov then comes out of the final corner and up to the start finish line, doesn't look like he's going to improve this lap. No, as he sets a 2 minute 1.6. Ryan Sandel, meanwhile, coming up to the start finish line, whilst listening to me probably, is going to set a slightly better lap time. Going to improve by a third of a tenth and set a 2 minute 0.262, 67. Oh, Diman Ivanov gone second with a 2 minute 2 minute 0.240. Too many twos. He's got into 2nd place, just ahead of Ryan Sandel. Sheikh Shabazz has come across the line and improved and stayed in 4th place with a 2 minute 0.6. Johnny Newbold done a 2 minute 1.9, and Ollie Smith has jumped up to 6th place in with a 2 minute 1.3. Johnny Newbold saying before this race that he absolutely hates the circuit. Well, he didn't say he hated this circuit, he just said he doesn't know it. It's not a track he's really ever driven around before. So yeah, this is another one of those Johnny Newbold doesn't know where this track goes circuits, which there appears to be quite a few of, to be honest. As I often say in commentary, Johnny is very, very strong around some circuits and doesn't know which way other circuits go. As Cruel Burrows, poor Ian in this race. I'm not sure Ian's really going to have many people to race against. Ian last season was a green driver, so that's the bottom tier of the licence grades. So yeah, he's also got a rubbish car, the BMW Z4. I don't think that's helping matters, having that car. It's pretty much the worst car in Group 3. Yeah, 2 minute 8.1. Yeah, it was a bit savage of Matt to put him in Lobby 1 today. Put Ian and Ankit Dash and Tony in this. They're the only drivers who aren't diamond or high gold drivers. So yeah, a little bit cruel of Matt to put them in this. But as Dimitar Penkov then exits the chase for what I think will be the 3rd to last lap of qualifying for him, in his rather dodgy livery, which I'm not sure I'm allowed to broadcast on YouTube. As he comes up to the start finish line, going to improve. No, he's not. 2 minute 0.5. Good consistency from Dimitar, setting consistent mid to low 2 minute lap times. Oh, Ryan Sandel, he's done a 159. 159.9. Finally, someone in MRL has done a 159 around Bathurst. So many of us have got so close, but never quite done it. Ryan Sandel, admittedly with no tyre wear and no fuel to his advantage, has set at 159.9. What I mean by no tyre wear and no fuel, why that's an advantage, it basically, when tyre wear is turned off, the tyres are always in perfect condition. They're always at the perfect temperature, always in pristine, brand new condition. And because fuel is off, it's like you've got an empty tank. So Ryan's basically going around without any fuel in his car and with his tyres constantly in permanent condition. They don't overheat, they don't wear, they don't do anything like that. I think when tyre wear is off, you can get dirty tyres, but that's all you can get. I don't think you can overheat or anything like that. Not from what I've experienced anyway. Ryan coming up over the mountain now, coming through McPhillamy Park and over the skyline, coming down now into the dipper. Very tricky this section. Just got to be really careful of the brakes, especially in this Dodge Viper. It's one of the worst cars for it, for the back end stepping out, going down that dipper. Got to be really, really tentative down there. And now coming down through into Forest Elbow. Again, another corner where you've got to be careful of the brakes. If you just slam the brakes on, you'll probably loop it, probably spin the car. As he comes up the Conrod Straight, is he going to be purple? No, he's not, 2 tenths down, so probably can cut away from Ryan here. As we go look at Dimitar here, coming through the chase once more. Ahead of his friend Diman Ivanov. Shakespeare looks like he's bailed out, looks like he doesn't think he can improve as he's gone back to the pits. Now he's just sitting there seemingly, waiting for qualifying to end, so Dimitar Penko coming across the line. It's not going to improve. Can you just improve, please? Every lap since lap 3 I've been saying, is he going to improve? And every lap I've said no. As Diman Ivanov, is he going to improve? No, he's not. This is getting quite repetitive. As Johnny Newbold in the Corvette. Oh, we set a 2 minute 1.0, sorry. I didn't notice that. As he comes up to start finish line. Isn't going to improve on this lap by the looks of things. Jake Beatty, meanwhile, in 7th place. Where's the fastest pint? Ollie Smith just jumped up to 6th place, just jumped ahead of Jake Beatty then, with a 2 minute 1.1. Adi Barber, Adam Hill as well, jumped up to 8th place with a 2 minute 1.2. Slipstream is on for this, so I am a little bit surprised, to be honest, that I've not seen anybody trying to hog people's slipstream, as well, Dimitar Penko will not be improving on this lap. I can tell you that with confidence, having just seen him go off into the wall. Is Dimman going to follow Dimitar off? You can see there's Dimitar's tyre marks. Dimitar was here. As Jake Beatty comes across the line then and improves, setting a 2 minute 0.9, goes up to 5th place. Not quite able to topple Sheikh Shabazz, but still jumped ahead of Ollie Smith and Johnny Newbold and up into 5th place now, and just set a 2 minute 4.0. That's Neha Mahashu Neha, I'm just going to call you Ankit Dash, okay? I kind of know how to say his surname, but I think it's Maheshwari or something like that. Ryan Saddle, okay, he's not going to be improving in this lap, you can tell that for sure. He's gone and slammed it into a wall somewhere. Is anyone even bothering with a lap here? Anyone even trying to set a fast lap? What have we got here? Adi Barber. Anybody else? Got Irish Tony, Angie Dash, and Crawl Burrows. Nope, looks like there's only 2 people still going for a lap. So Adam Hill then on a fast lap here in his Nerds Sweets livery. As he comes, I think they're Sweets anyway, Nerds. As he comes through this final corner, out of Murray's corner up to the start finish line. Is he going to improve? Going to set a 2 minute 1.1. Yes, he is, just about by a 10th. Going to stay in 7th place though, in his Nissan GTR with a 2 minute 1.1. Meanwhile, oh, he didn't know. Actually, he toppled Ollie Smith, didn't he? Went above Ollie Smith. Ollie Smith coming across the line isn't going to improve. So, at the last minute, then, Adam Hill jumped up 1 position ahead of Ollie Smith, and he's going to be starting 7th for this race. So, I think everything is working correctly. I think I'm saying Ankit Dash's name right. This is in the chat right now. You got that right, Mashwari. I think. Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe I can pronounce that right. When I first saw I thought there's no way I could pronounce it. But I did look at it. I thought, right, break it down. How am I probably meant to say this? So yeah, I was doing that yesterday. Right, so as we wait then for the first race of Season 3 of the Moto Racing League Group 3 100 mile series, we've got Ryan Sandel on pole position with a 1:59.9 ahead of Dimitar Penkov and Dimon Ivanov. Then got Shakespeare starting in 4th place ahead of Johnny Newbold, Jake Beatty, Ollie Smith and Adam Hill. And so we are staring at Shakespeare's car right now. This is not a very good camera angle. There we go, let's jump to that, it's much better. So get the graphics up on screen. And away we go then, with no warning, for this round 1 of the season, going up to turn 1. We've got side by side between Ryan Sandel and Dimitar Penkov, but Ryan Sandel coming out best there. Is anyone going to spin further back? Oh, looks like there's been an incident with the fastest pint. Or someone looked like they were slow out of that first corner. Was it Irish Tony? It might have been actually. But Ryan Sandel then heading down to Griffin's Bend for the first time this race, is in the lead of the race ahead of Dimitar Penkov in his Chevrolet Corvette C7. Then got Dimman still in P3 with Shakespeare in 4th place as they come through the cutting for the first time this race. Very easy to pimple off the walls through there, very, very easy indeed. Looks like everyone's kept it under control as Ollie Smith going on the attack here, just made his way past JJ Hype ahead of Johnny Newbold, although he's just hit the wall coming through the quarry corner. Doesn't look like he lost him too much time though, as he's still right up behind Jake. Got the 2 Bulgarians very close together right now as they come down through the dipper for the first time in this race, coming down through this drop. Very easy to get spat off to the left there as Ryan Sandel just hit the walls going through the dipper. That's a section of corners that Ryan's car really does struggle with, and he just saw it there. Lost the back end as he went through the drop, and it got fired off to the left. This is a 26 lap race, remember. Going to take about 55 minutes to complete this race. It's going to be a long one. Going to be very interesting as well to see what the strategy is. And now coming down at the Comrade straight into the chase, we've got Dimitar Penkov. He's alongside Ryan Sandel, got the inside for the chase. Is he going to be able to pull this off there side by side into the chase? And Dimitar Penkov has taken the lead. Did exactly the same as what I did back in Season 1. Overtake Ryan down the corner straight on lap 1 and get ahead of him. This is a mirror image of my race from the first season. Started in 2nd place, sat behind Ryan over the mountain section, and then got past him down the Conrod. So as we come to the end of lap 1, then we got Dimitar Penkov in the lead of this race ahead of Ryan Sandel, with Dimon Ivanov very close to Ryan as well in 3rd place. So he's kind of kept up with Dimon here, with Dimitar, sorry. And yeah, closed in on Ryan, as he's now got Ryan's slipstream as they go down the mountain straight up towards Griffin's Bend. Ryan though does have slipstream as well, so Dimon not going to be able to gain on Ryan down that straight as they head over the mountain section now. Having a look further back, it looks like there's already been a little bit of action towards the back. Looks like things have spread out a bit. Because, well, after Alibaba there isn't anybody. It's just a massive gap. Don't know quite what's happened there. I'm not sure if there's been any incidents or not. Anyone's gone flying into the wall or not. As we have a look at Alibaba here on the back of the pack. First of the gold drivers in this race. We've got 7 diamond drivers in this race. That's why I'm not quite sure if this lobby was a random lobby or not. I mean, 7 diamond drivers out of the 11. Yeah. Anyone? I've just seen dust kicked up then. Anyone crash out then? I don't think they did. Just saw some dust up in the air coming out of McPhillamley Park over the skyline. I think someone just had a little bit of an off. So coming out of the Forest Elbow up the Comrade Straight for the 2nd time this race, Ryan Sandel now has the slipstream as we go on board with him. He's got the slipstream of Dimitar Penkov going up this straight, but I think Ryan could be fuel saving, sorry, because he is actually falling back from Dimitar here. I don't know why Ryan was fuel save. There's no point in fuel saving this race because the fuel is set to ×1. Absolutely no point whatsoever. With the fuel set to ×1, you can do a heck of a lot of fuel saving and save only, let's say, 5% of a tank compared to others. And then you only gain a second in the pits because of your fuel saving. So it's really not beneficial with these new rules to do any fuel saving whatsoever. That's why I recommended to Kelvin Gomersall when he was asking me earlier. Told him just go for the Citroen, GT by Citroen. That car, terrible on fuel, but great through the corners. Really doesn't matter if your car's bad on fuel on this, you'll only lose a few percentage to others. Really won't lose you much time in the pits at all. Chase Shabazz in P4 right now. Looks like he's been dropped by the top 3 here, but he has also pulled away from the guys behind. Ollie Smith had a good start here. Started down in, what was it, 8th place in this race. And in that Toyota Supra, managed to get out to 5th. I don't know how he's done this actually, down starting in 8th place. Because he's in the Toyota Supra, which is terrible off the line. So he somehow started in 8th, should have gone all the way back to last, but instead actually managed to go all the way up to 5th. So Ollie Smith done really well here at the start of this race, as he slightly overcooked it then into the cutting. Looks like he's pulling away as well from Jake behind. Johnny Newbold somewhat sunk down the order here, qualified in 5th place, now down to 7th in that Chevrolet Corvette. That car though is one of the fastest cars in Group 3 in a straight line. So he will be at an advantage when he gets to the straights. Will certainly have a speed advantage over the guys in front. Ooh, looks like it's been a bit of a pile-up there. Looks like Ollie Smith, I think, may have messed up the dipper there and caused a bit of a concertina effect. As now Jake Beatty right up behind him. I think Ollie may have gone head first into the wall then, going through this dipper, through the S's. As Ryan Sandel, meanwhile, up at the front of the field. Now in the slipstream of Dimitar. Got a good run on him here in the slipstream. I think he may be listening to my stream and realised that slipstream is no, well, that fuel saving is pointless. That's what I'm trying to say. Although he is still actually fuel saving. Not quite sure why Ryan is doing that, to be honest. As now on board with Diman Ivanov, right up behind the front 2 here. Very much kept up with them at the start. Diman, as I always say, he's come on leaps and bounds as he sets the fastest lap of the race here with a 2:09. Come on leaps and bounds since he got a Fanatec CSL Elite. Was previously on an old Thrustmaster T150. Since he upgraded to a CSL Elite, he has got so much quicker. He is absolutely phenomenal nowadays. Really, really quick. Keeping up in every race so far that he's done with his CSL Elite. Been keeping up with the front guys. I think he's finished on the podium in every single race since he got his CSL Elite. Absolutely flying. Almost won last week as well at Interlagos. Was pushing Ryan right to the end. As we have a look further back here, looks like Johnny Newbold has got past Ollie Smith, although they're now side by side as Ollie Smith managed to make his way back past. So it looks like Ollie may have made a couple more mistakes because he's gone down to 6th here. He was in front of Jake, but now, well, was momentarily down to 7th, now back up to 6th place. As Ali Barber, as a result, Adam Hill has managed to catch up to the back of these guys. So he's ruled in Johnny Newbold, got back into his slipstream here. As these guys fighting over 5th place here, with Jake now at the front of this pack. And, well, they have rather left behind the guys behind. You've got to feel sorry for these three. For Irish, Tony, Ankit, Dash and Crawlberries. They've been dumped in a lobby full of diamond drivers. Top drivers, lobby 1 drivers. And then you've got these guys who are normally down in like lobby 3, lobby 4 sort of thing. Yeah, kind of a bit out of their depth. Bit cruel by Matt to put them in this lobby. As we come down the Cornwall straight once more, coming down into the chase. Ryan's going to have to be careful here. He could lose the slipstream to Dimitar Penkov if he fuel saves too much. He is close to that borderline. Only takes one mistake over the mountain and he could be out of the slipstream. And actually, looks like Diminov has made a mistake. So as he comes across the line here, going to set a 2:01.8. So he's just lost a second compared to the last lap with that lap time. Looks like he's made an error there somewhere on that lap. I'm going to guess he lost time over the mountain, as he's now been cut off from the front 2, so he's firmly out of the slipstream range now of Ryan Sandel. Gaps all the way up to, what, 1.4 seconds. So, yeah, costly error somewhere there for, well, BGTT DI Tray 44 to give him his PlayStation name. Chase Shabazz, meanwhile, still in 4th place, staying ahead of the guys behind. Doesn't look like he's able to keep up with the guys in front, but is able to stay ahead as Ryan Sandel, he has crashed coming through the cutting. He has binned it somewhere. Can I get the replay up? I don't think I can. It doesn't seem to be working, the replay. But he has made a mistake then going through the cutting. Something's happened there. I'm going to guess that he went too wide coming through the first left-hander, coming through what you'd call, what, turn 3. Looks like he may have dipped his rear right wheel over the edge of the track, over the edge of the white line, and spun his car. So Ryan Sandel, last season's dominant champion, is down to 4th place in this race. This track as well is not a track that he's necessarily all that strong around, so there's no guarantee he's going to be able to recover that time now, as the two Bulgarians are miles out in the lead of this race. They are miles ahead of everybody. These two you can guarantee will work together. Best of friends, these two. Joined both this league and the league that they joined this league from. They joined that together at the same time. The two of them raced together in the BGTT league, the Bulgarian something league, can't remember what it stands for now. Some Bulgarian thing. Two of them now at the front of this race. Sheikh Shabazz now up into third place ahead of Ryan Sandel. Managed to capitalise on Ryan's mistake. Is Sheikh going to hold Ryan up if Ryan catches him up? Or is Sheikh just going to wave him past? What's this lap time going to be from Ryan Sandel? How much time did he lose? It's going to be a 2-minute 7.7. So he's lost 7 seconds because of that accident then. And yeah, also 7 seconds behind Dimitar. So that would match up as Sheikh Shabazz looked like he's letting Ryan pass, or made a mistake either which way out of Hell Corner. So Ryan Sandel now up into third place. I think Sheikh looked like he ran wide out of Hell Corner, clipped the grass and lost himself some time. Jake Beatty meanwhile in fifth place managed to catch up to these guys, so this pack had kind of been cut off from the guys in front, but Jake's now managed to get to the head of the pack and now catch up Sheikh Shabazz. Now just on the borderline of Sheikh's slipstream, as he's actually kind of broken away from Ollie Smith here, and Adi Barber, Adam Hill's got ahead of Johnny Newbold, so it looks like Johnny Newbold made a mistake on lap 4. Did a 2 minutes 7.4, so it looks like he's had a crash somewhere and lost himself a lot of time. This circuit, not one which Johnny likes. And yeah, down to 8th place now, so Adam Hill in 7th. This is the first time Adam Hill's raced in Lobby 1 for a very, very, very long time. And the last time he raced in Lobby 1 was Kyoto, which was round 6 of season 1. And he got lapped by me in that race, and after that me and Matt were like, yeah, maybe he shouldn't be in Lobby 1. He was just getting used to a wheel actually at that point. That was one of his first races using a steering wheel, and yeah, was really off the pace. He's got a lot quicker since then, as you can see. Now keeping up with the Diamond drivers in Lobby 1 in this race today. Certainly holding his own. Adam spent the entirety of last season pretty much racing in Lobby 2. Got a lot of his friends as well in Lobby 2. That's part of the reason why he was in Lobby 2 for all the races. It's a big group of friends who were always in Lobby 2 last season. Big group of Diamond drivers, Gold drivers, sorry, who are all friends with one another. Looking at Jake Beatty here, still in the slipstream range of Sheikh Shabazz as they come through Hell's Corner on lap 7 of this race. Pit stops. You guess people would pit at the end of lap 13, but who knows, because this is the first time we've raced using these settings, and some people might want to try and do the 2-stop. And I'm looking at tyre wear. I reckon everyone's going to do the 1-stop. I would, judging by the fact that the tyres still in pretty good nick after what, 6.5 laps. So people should be able to get these tyres to lap 13 or lap 14 without a huge drop off. Fuel as well, looks like that will make it no problem. Should get to lap 13 without an issue. Actually, people have got a lot of fuel, you know, considering we're on lap 7. Having to think about that, that's a lot of fuel. Matt said that it's going to be difficult to get the fuel to half race distance, judging by his testing, but I'm not sure about that, you know, because, well, if you think they started on half a tank, they've only really used about a third of that, which is making me think, is the 1-stop going to be possible? Is the no-stop, sorry, is that going to be possible? That's what I'm trying to say. Is that going to be an option at least some tracks this season? That's an interesting one, actually. Going to have to see what the fuel level is like at half race distance at the end of lap 13. Need to see if anybody is close to running out, because if they're not, then that could open the doors to a no-stop some point this season. Nobody today is in a car which I would say is particularly good on fuel or good at short shifting. No one's got a car which has got a really torquey engine. Most of these cars have, pretty big, thirsty engines. Coming into the end of lap number 7 here as we start lap 8. We've got Dimitar Penkov, who's taken the fastest lap of the race off of his friend Dimon Ivanov with a 2:09.02. As he's now purple as well, coming out of Hell's Corner up into Griffin's Bend. One fear that I did have of these rules for this season is how entertaining the races would be. We had 100-mile races for season 1 and they were certainly at times pretty boring, so that is one fear I do have for this season. That will also influence whether I actually commentate on them or not. If these races do turn out to be very dull, then I may just commentate on my own series and not this one. For those who are watching who are MRL members, next season of the Group 3 Sprint Series starts tomorrow around Spa. Just been preparing that before this started. Been preparing the preview for that. Sorting out all the settings, saving all the settings, so that's ready to go. If you do want to take part in that, then the event will be going up tomorrow, sometime probably midday tomorrow. Basically whenever I wake up is when I'll put it on. So do sign up to the event if you do want to take part. Make sure to click going in the event on Facebook, and I will add you to the entry list and leave you space in the lobby. So format pretty much staying the same for next season of the Sprint Series. Nothing really changing. What I'm going to be doing is banning traction control to make the standing starts a little bit more even between the cars. Make it more about driver skill than who's got a car which is good off the line. Ryan Sandel in 3rd place in a car which is very good off the line, Dodge Viper. Managed to pull away now from Sheikh Shabazz, who's in 4th place. Sheikh not quite able to keep up with Ryan Sandel. Sheikh Shabazz playing on a controller. Him and Ollie Smith both on a controller today. Both looking to get a wheel, I believe, but neither of them have one yet. Ollie Smith, now a Diamond driver, was a Gold driver last season, now being bumped up to Diamond. I think there's been any others who have been upgraded this season? Yeah, so the guys towards the back as well. Ankit Dash, Irish Tony and Crawl Burrows all being bumped up to red. Ankit Dash and Irish Tony, they were in blue, Crawl Burrows was in green, now all up in the red category. Licenses this season, they don't mean all that much to be honest. Just kind of an indicator as to how good you are, that's all it really means. Doesn't really affect the championship or what lobby you're in, doesn't really have an influence on anything to be honest. It's just kind of, yeah, an indicator for how good you are and sort of a bit of a badge of honour. So Dimitar Penkov then on lap 9 of this race, out in the lead, 2 seconds ahead of his best mate Dimon Ivanov. Dimitar setting pretty consistent lap times here. Looks like he made a mistake on lap 7 as he did a 2:01.8. Otherwise though, setting really solid 2-minute ones. I think he may be fuel saving here. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the strategy here, because Ryan was certainly fuel saving and these two seem to have quite a lot of fuel as well compared to Ankit Dash, who we were just on board with. These two have got a lot of fuel. So just skimming through the pack here, what people's fuel levels like. So Ankit Dash is really low on fuel. Everyone else though looking quite healthy, so I think Ankit Dash is maybe being a bit, oh yeah, being very trigger happy in that Corvette, upshifting way too late. Ankit, if you are listening to me, upshift 3/4 of the way at the rev bar. You're upshifting way too late and burning a heck of a lot of fuel as a result. You're not only going to slow yourself down, but you're going to burn way too much fuel too. Yeah, Ankit over-revving that car somewhat. I think they may actually be listening, you know, because they've gone into pause mode or put their hazards on. And upshift, pretty much now is where you want to be upshifting up the rev bar. The Chevrolet Corvette, just like the Toyota Supra car, you don't want to be giving too much revs, otherwise not only will you slow yourself down, but you'll burn more fuel as well. It's a car where the rev bar isn't really where it should be, it's not really synced into where it should be. The top of the rev bar is not the top of the power range. It looks like Ollie Smith as well, giving it too many revs in this Supra. I think, to be fair to Ollie Smith, I think he's using automatic. It might be the same with Dash actually. Both of them are controller players, I believe, so I think they may actually just be using automatic gears and have no control over the fact that they're over-revving their car. Ryan Sandal still in third place, keeping the gap actually quite consistent to Sheikh Shabazz. Sheikh Shabazz has managed to hold that gap at 2.4 seconds. That's what it was last time we checked in. Jake, meanwhile, in fifth place, 2 seconds behind Sheikh Shabazz. Doesn't look like there's any battles going on here. This is what I mean by the this format being a little bit dull. The pit stops are few and far between. It takes a long time until the first round of pit stops, and then you yeah, you don't have that many cars. You don't have that many cars, and they're not very close to one another. Still got Duman in second place, the Bulgarian. What can we talk about? Can we talk about the track? Bathurst, Mount Panorama. It's a track in Australia, believe it or not. On a mountain, which I'm going to guess is called Mount Panorama. That's just my guess. I don't know why I think that, but this mountain it's on may just be called Mount Panorama. This circuit, also called Bathurst. I think Bathurst is like the local village town thing. I think that's where it gets the name Bathurst from. That's going to be my guess anyway. And a circuit been around since I think the 1950s. I think is when this circuit came into existence. It's actually a circuit which I have on Assetto Corsa, and which I probably will make a video on one day. The classic version of Bathurst. Classic version of Bathurst, not too dissimilar to the modern version. It basically didn't have the barriers, so instead of going into the barriers when you went wide over the mountain, you just fell off the mountain or went up the bank on the side of the track. You just went up the hillside. So yeah, that was pretty much the only difference between this modern day version of Bathurst and the 60s version of Bathurst. Obviously the 60s version of Bathurst didn't have any sort of curbs or anything like that, no white lines, none of that sort of stuff. And was a little bit faster as well, I think. Didn't have the chase, so the chase I think was added back in the 1980s on this circuit. Was added in as a chicane, I think, to make Murray's corner, the final corner, a little bit safer. Quite a interesting circuit, Bathurst. Very, is it unique? It is quite unique, isn't it, Bathurst? There's not many tracks like this. Very strange to have the contrast between this section down the bottom, where you've got the big long straights and the 96-degree corners, and then the mountain section, which is just totally different. It's chalk and cheese. Completely different sections of circuit. This is big, open, lots of grass, runoff area, gravel traps everywhere. And then the mountain section is just no runoff at all, pretty much. Be great to see something like F1 around the circuit, but I just think that mountain section is just too dangerous. Ooh, looks like Dimant lost the back end then, just as we cut away. Looks like he got the grass coming out of the Murray's corner. Lost the back end, managed to keep it under control though. Ryan Sandal is into the pits with 21% of a tank still left. Looks like Ryan is going to be going for the two-stop here, which is... Oh, this race, it's got some real similarities to the Season 1 race around this track. Back in Season 1, Ryan made his debut around this track and did the two-stop and went on to regret it, as everybody else did the one-stop pretty much. So he's pitted early here. Quite a long pit lane lost time here at Bathurst, as Ryan hasn't put much fuel in here. Only topped it up to 44%, so definitely should... Well, I'm almost certainly will be doing the two-stop here. There's no way he's going to get to the end of the race with only 44% of tank left. So he's put new tyres on in his Viper, topped the tank up. Not sure why he's put 44% in. It's quite a lot to do a short stint. So he's what, got 15 laps to go. 44% is not enough to do 15 laps, but it's way too many to do 8 laps. 44% of a tank is going to do you about 11, 12 laps around here, something like that. If not a little bit more than that. Maybe he is doing the one stop actually. 44%, 15 laps. That might be possible actually. That may be possible. It's going to be very difficult to get the superstars to do 15 laps, but certainly from a fuel point of view that could actually be possible. So keep an eye out for Ryan Sandal here. 30 seconds behind the leaders at the moment, having made his pit stop. Pitted a couple of laps earlier than would be perfect and would be optimal. Could use these few laps, these couple of laps where he's got a tyre advantage to reel in the Bulgarians, to pull in some of the gap to them. Oh, there's been a spinner here. As who's that? Is that a back marker? We're about to go past them. They're out of shot at the moment. Yes, they are. It is Ian Burrows, really not having a good time of things here in the BMW so far. Ian, if you want to quit this race, I wouldn't blame you, to be honest, mate. I wouldn't blame you if you quit this race. You are 40 seconds behind Iris Shoney. You've got about half an hour still to go until the race ends. You're already a lap down. Yeah, if you do want to quit this race, yeah, I wouldn't blame you. Irish Tony as well. Oh, we've got the fastest point in the pits. Let's focus on him first. Ollie Smith pulling into the pits with 16% of the tank still left, so decided to pit a lap early. 1 lap before half race distance. Now topping the tank up. How much fuel is he going to put in? If it's anything like Ryan, I'm going to guess about 40%. 41. Oh, what a guess! What a guess! Ollie Smith, 41% of the tank. So actually, it looks like Ryan Saddle may be going to the end of the race. It looks like he's listening to this live stream as well, because he's just gone into the live chat and said that his tyres were screwed. Well, he used a less polite version of that word, but yeah, it's basically what he said. You can see in the live chat for yourself what he just said. As he's actually got crawl burrows in front of him here. This is why I turn ghosted back markers on in my leagues, in my series that I run. As Crawl Burrows then has to dive out of the way and go slumming into the wall to get out of the way of Ryan Sannel. Ryan caught in at a suboptimal point of the circuit there, let's say. Not a place where you can overtake that section of the mountain. Really, you can't overtake at all through there. So Ian really did have to just dive completely out of the way to let Ryan through, as Ian has just gone absolutely slamming to the wall. No! Oh, and he's just slammed into Adam Barber. Adam Hill. Ah. Come on, Matt, turn on ghosted back markers. That's just lost Adam Hill loads of time. That's annoying. Adam Hill, who was keeping up with the guys in front pretty much, was only a couple of seconds behind. Johnny Newbold's just lost a whole heap of time. As the two leaders have dived into the pits. So Dimitar Penkov ahead of Dimon Ivanov at the end of lap 13. At smack on half race distance. These two are the favourites to win this race by the looks of things at the moment. We're obviously a distant first and second prior to the pit stops beginning. Where is Ryan Sandel going to be when these guys come out the pits? Let's go on board with Ryan. So Ryan going down the pit straight here. Have a look at the Bulgarians on the top left up on the screen. So Dimitar's exited 43% of a tank, Dimon 41% of a tank, and they are ahead. So they've got 2 laps fresher tyres than Ryan. They've got more fuel than Ryan, and they're ahead by what, 2.5 seconds and what, 5 seconds respectively. So it's looking good here for the Bulgarians, especially for Dimitar Penkov, who's got the most fuel out of them all and got the strongest pace as well. Got the fastest lap of the race right now as well. This could be a clean sweep for Dimitar. It's been a long time since we saw a strong performance by Dimitar. Been a very long time. He's had some troubles lately over the last couple of months. Not really been his normal self, not really been on the pace. Dimitar finished second in season 1 of this series, finished second to myself. Was very, very quick, beat me hands down on a number of occasions back in season 1. Had some strong performances in season 2, but a lot of not so good ones, including some rage quits and some races that he couldn't attend as well. Only attended, I think, 8 rounds in the end last season, was miles down the order because of that. I think he only completed about 6 of them, and I don't think any of them he finished up at the front. Didn't have a good season last season. Looks like he's getting season 3 though off to a good start, around what is one of his favourite circuits in the game, I believe. Certainly one of his strongest ones, that's for sure. We've got Sheikh Shabazz. Oh, Sheikh Shabazz, has he made a mistake here? Looks like he has. It looks like he's gone into the wall, got himself a 1-second penalty and lost out to Jake Beatty here. So Sheikh, looks like on the previous lap, did a 2-minute 9.7. So lost himself a heck of a load of time then on that previous lap. As he's now going to come into the pits. Should hopefully get it slowed down in time. Yep, for the chicane. Really, really tricky pit entrance here at Mount Panorama. So easy to mess that up. As Jake does come into the pits now with 13% of a tank remaining. Jake Beatty, look at him, still going round. On lap 15 now on his first stint of the race. Not quite sure why he's going long on this stint. I was going to say maybe an attempt to sort of get free air, get some space, but he wasn't in traffic prior to this, so not quite sure what Jake Beatty's doing here. His tyres really are starting to drop off now. You can see down in the bottom left hand corner those tyres starting to get to quite an ugly state. So Jake going round in the lead at the moment as Sheikh Shabazz exited the pits in 6th place ahead of Johnny Newbold, who's 10 seconds behind, 11 seconds behind, or 12 seconds behind now. Sheikh Shabazz, he's yeah, that mistake looks like it cost him a lot. That's a mistake on lap 13. He's fallen not only behind Jake Beattie, but he's fallen behind Ollie Smith too. So Ollie Smith now up to 5th place. Remember, Ollie made that mistake earlier this race. I think he went down from 5th to 7th, I think it was. Now back up to 5th place though. Should be close between him and Jake Beattie actually. Look at those gaps, should be very close indeed when Jake eventually does pull into the pits. Where is Jake? Going through Forest Elbow right now. He's losing a lot of time here, Jake. That gap was 3.7 seconds when we were looking at him half a lap ago. Now it's 1.9. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Jake is doing here. I don't know if he's not seeing the lap count because he's going for an extremely long first stint here on dead tyres. Maybe actually going for the long stint on this first stint, so he then has fresh tyres for the second stint. So he has the tyre advantage in that second stint. Historically though, in racing in general, the overcut doesn't normally work. Just in general, the overcut tends to be not the strategy to go for, especially in GT Sport. Undercut tends to be a good idea. So Jake Beattie then going for the overcut, going long in the first stint, and then going for a shorter second stint, pulling into the pits with 11% of a tank left. I think someone could do a no stop, certainly around some of the tracks this season, because if Jake Beattie, after 15 laps, Jake's not someone who's normally that good at fuel saving, if he's still got 11% of a tank left, that only means he used 39% of a tank in 15 laps. I could see someone doing 26 laps on 50% of a tank if they fuel save lots. As Jake Beattie now has come out the pits behind Ollie Smith, so that's what we were kind of thinking might happen. And Ollie Smith now made his way up to 4th place, so Ollie is down in 7th place, managed to make his way past Johnny Newbold and Jake Beattie, and also ahead of Sheikh Shabazz courtesy of Sheikh's incident. So Ollie then at the front of this pack. Ryan Sandel meanwhile reeling in Dimon Ivanov here. So Ryan Sandel set the fastest lap of the race on the previous lap, set a 2:06. Now as well he's on the borderline of Dimon's slipstream, although he has just hit the wall coming out of Sulman Park. Ryan, remember, has got a tyre and fuel disadvantage to Dimon. If we compare the two, Dimon has considerably better tyres and considerably more fuel, so Dimon should be at an advantage here. Dimon's car as well is a lot stronger over the mountain section, far more stable as he hits the wall coming out of Forest Elbow. Ryan's car though, I would say a little bit more nimble, just less stable. That's why it's not quite so strong coming over the mountain. Dimitar Penkov in the Chevrolet Corvette, a very stable car, very quick on the straights as well, in the lead of the race currently. This is a car which is very, very strong around the circuit. When Bathurst comes up in the daily races, the Corvette is always one of the go-to cars. It's just so good down the long straights. And nice and stable as well, going over the mountain, coming down the dipper. You can really attack that section in this car. Ooh, Dimon Ivanov just run wide, having a bit of a scrappy lap here, run wide out of Murray's corner, and he's now got Ryan Sandel into his slipstream range. So Dimon Ivanov going to be vulnerable now, doesn't have his friend Dimitar pulling him along. He's way off up the road, so he's going to be vulnerable to Ryan now, as Ryan has the slipstream. Is Ryan going to take this opportunity to save a little bit of fuel whilst he's got Dimon's slipstream? Ryan obviously does have a lot less fuel than Dimon. I don't know what Ryan's fuel gauge is looking like right now, what his readout is looking like, whether it says he can get to the end of the race or not. But yeah, this may be a good idea, good time to do a little bit of short shifting, save a bit of fuel, and then go past Dimon so you can then go flat out to the end of the race. Thank you, by the way, to the 8 people that are watching this live stream. Thank you very much. If anyone wants to give this live stream a like, do feel free. I see I've only got 1 like right now, so if also any of you like this stream, we can sextuple that count, if that's even a word. Sextuple, I think that's a word. I think that's the word for timing something by 7. lap 17 of the race we are on currently. Got, what is it, 8 laps to go. Another, what, 15 minutes left of this race. As Ryan Sandel actually fallen out of the slipstream range of Dimman, so Ryan, as predicted, struggling over that mountain section, struggling through that dipper section. And he's, yeah, fallen back out of Dimman's slipstream range, so this could be a battle to the end of the race here. A battle between Ryan and Dimman. Dimman just constantly trying to stay out of Ryan's slipstream range, trying to stay far enough ahead of him. Remember, for those that aren't familiar with GT Sport, 3/4 of a second is the slipstream range. Oh, Ryan Sandel coming out of Murray's corner. Got a little bit too wide then, clipped the grass. He's lost himself a few tenths to Dimman there, lost himself about 3/10 of a second. Half a second to Dimman. That's, yeah, costing us some time, giving himself a little bit dirty tyres as well. So not ideal then for Ryan Sandel. That gap now at 1.4 seconds. Looks like Dimman as well ran wide out of turn 1, so these two both making mistakes at the moment. Dimman's meanwhile still pulling away from these guys. Got the gap up now to 4.6 seconds. Got this win in the bag pretty much. Just has to keep it, keep this car under control. Try not to bin it going through the mountain section. This track, a track most commonly associated with V8 supercars, or just supercars as they're known as now. Also a track though which GT3 cars do race around in real life, so this is perfectly realistic. Anyone who's watched the Bathurst 12 Hour will know what I'm talking about. One of the big races of the racing season. Bathurst 12 Hour, quite an interesting race actually. Starts at about midday Australian time and then goes into the night, I think, or is it the other way around? Maybe it's the other way around. Starts at night and finishes in the day. It's one of the two. I know it's one which starts or ends in the day and then starts or finishes in the night. Actually, looks like we've got a battle going on here for 4th place. So looks like Ollie Smith, Jake Beattie and Sheikh Shabazz are all close up to one another. So Ollie, who did manage to jump Jake in the pit stop phase here, courtesy of Ollie's undercut, managed to get up into 4th place. Ollie pitted at the end of lap 12 it was. Jake pitted at the end of lap 15, so Jake's going to have much fresher tyres here. Although he does have a little bit less fuel. As Sheikh Shabazz not far behind these guys. Just set his personal best lap on the race with the 2:minute 0.9. Sheikh as well went for the overcut, pitted at the end of lap 14. So Ollie's going to be a little bit vulnerable here. As we go to the wrong car. Going to be a little bit vulnerable due to having older tyres than the guys behind. The Supra is a car which is quite strong around here, although is a little bit sketchy over the mountain section. Not the most stable of cars, especially on traction. I think that's the reason why Ollie's got traction control turned on. You need to wean yourself off the driving aids, Ollie. You need to get yourself onto manual gears, and you need to get yourself off with traction control as well. Both of them are only slowing you down, especially in a car like the Supra. Having automatic gears is going to slow you down considerably, because you're upshifting way too late and burning too much fuel by using automatic gears. As Jake Beattie's on that borderline of the slipstream now. Oh, not anymore. He's just gone rather wide then out of the out of the cutting, go through the cutting. Just hit that wall. Still actually in the slipstream range of Ollie, so he managed to kind of get away with that mistake, even though he went off into that wall. Seemingly used that just to get around the corner. Helped him rather than slowed him down. So he's got the gap now down to half a second. All gone very, very wide through a McPhillamy Park. Misses apex considerably then, lost half a second to Ollie. Very difficult McPhillamy Park, that corner. Really difficult. Going over the crest, it's like potluck, that corner. The car, if you don't lift off in time, it does take off over that bump. And then after that, you've got no control for the corner. Your front wheels are up in the air, you can't turn, and you're on a one-way trip into the gravel trap over there. Jake Beattie got a good run on Ollie Smith now, going down the Comrade straight down to the chase. Is there going to be an overtake here as Ollie's gone to the left, sent Jake to the right, so he's on the outside for the chase. But Jake, you may be able to pull this move off before they even get there. It's Ollie Smith. He's going back up the inside, using the good brakes of the Toyota Supra to his advantage there. And Ollie Smith just about managed to hold on to 4th place with a very forceful move then on Jake Beattie. Jake just put his hazards on as well. Don't think he was too happy with that. Ollie did come from pretty far back there. And did kind of run Jake out of road then. Gave Jake the squeeze, gave him no choice but to back out of that one. Ollie is quite a aggressive driver. Driver in real life. He has been quite aggressive since he moved over to GC Sport. Noticed on a few occasions him running people out of road, as Jake Beattie's got back up into 4th place. So I think Ollie's just lifted off then, let Jake through. I think Ollie realised that was a very forced move then into the chase. As he's looking to go back up the inside of Jake Beattie here. We've got a good battle going on here between these three. Between Jake Beattie, Ollie Smith and Shake Shabazz. Shake not far behind in P6. I'm just looking as well at the track map. Don't think there's a battle going on for a second. Let's just check on that quickly. Nope, that's just Crawl Burrows getting lapped for a second time. Oh, Ryan Sandals made a mistake here. He's made a big error here. Something happened with the back marker as he comes up to Crawl Burrows. Oh, when he goes into the back of Crawl Burrows. Ah, come on, Matt. Turn on goes to back markers. This is just silly. This is ruining the race. Ryan Sandals just lost a second and a half to Dimon because of that incident there with Crawl Burrows. Crawl Burrows, by the way, I'm not having a go at him whatsoever. Couldn't do anything about that. He went into the wall. That's just Crawl Burrows just driving. Obviously, not the best driver in the league. He's a lap behind everybody. Not having a go at him one bit. Nothing he could have done then, really. I'm sure he tried to get out of Ryan's way, but just kind of went into the wall and ended up getting into the way instead. So Ryan Sandal now, that gap's gone up from 2.5 seconds to 4.2 seconds, courtesy of that incident with Ian Burrows. So it doesn't look like he's going to be able to fight Diman Ivanov as we go back to this battle here. Oh, Ollie Smith down to 6th place. What's happened here? Has Ollie Smith made a mistake over the mountain? It looks like it has. It looks like he has made an error. So as we were looking at Ryan Sandal and Crawl Burrows, oh my goodness. Jeez, you saw. What on earth is going on here? What on earth is that? What a stupid game. What a stupid game! Jake and Jake getting very familiar with one another there. Why did the game think they were on top of one another then? All the way down the pit straight, the game... These two can't see each other, by the way. They never can see each other because the game is stupid. Put them on top of each other. Normally they go into the side of one another and have a bit of a smash into one another on my screen. This time round they got on top of each other. Only reason why Jake unmounted from Shake is because Shake served its penalty, which he probably didn't mean to do. He just served it accidentally because the game's stupid. You can see why I play Assetto Corsa and not this pile of rubbish. As Ollie Smith's in 6th place. As you can tell right now, I'm not very happy with GT Sport. This game was absolutely ridiculous yesterday. Just go check out my video from earlier if you want to see why. I had 5 glitches in one race. We had Shane Dye stuck in reverse view. You had me, I had 2 lots of sounds. You had Area 602 got stuck in the grid. You had everybody jump the start because everyone got released at once when like the lights were nowhere near going out. We all just suddenly got released and we all got full start penalties. And then when Johnny Waffle and Ankit Dash, when they quit the race because we went to restart the race, Johnny Waffle and Ankit Dash then got thrown out the lobby and their games then crashed, so they had to restart the game. So that happened yesterday, and then today we've got Shake Shabazz and Jake Beattie literally mounting one another because, as always, they can't see each other. For unknown reasons. These guys, they don't have the best of internet, but they don't have awful internet either. I mean, you can see Shake and Jake that neither of them are darting around, you know, it's not that bad, their internet. It's pretty alright. It can be a bit sketchy sometimes, but yeah, not all that bad. Shake Shabazz, not only can he not see Jake Beattie right now, but he can never see Aditya Raghav either. So he can never see the ancient player who's in lobby 3 right now, and he can never see Johnny Newbold, I think, or certainly sometimes can't see Johnny Newbold. He certainly couldn't see Johnny Newbold the other day. As Crawl Burrows is getting lapped once more. Well, no, not Crawl Burrows. Is that Irish Tony? Yes, it is. Irish Tony just pulled out of the way of the guys coming past. Irish Tony, 54 seconds behind Ankit Dash and a lap ahead of Crawl Burrows. Kind of thought he's having A whale of a time right now, Tony. As it actually, let's say he's just come out of the pits. Yeah, it was. Oh, as he goes head first into the wall then. Ollie Smith's going to have to make his way past around the outside. This game. Try not to swear. A 1.5 second for Irish Tony for having a crash. GG Pliffany. Dimon Evanov in second place right now, just set the fastest lap of the race, or set a few laps ago on lap 17 with a 2:05. For those of you that are wondering what I'm angry about, it's the fact that Irish Tony has just got a 1.5 second penalty for making a mistake and going headfirst into the wall and absolutely not gaining 1.5 seconds. How does the game think that Irish Tony gained 1.5 seconds for going headfirst into the wall on the apex of, what is it, the cutting, I always forget the name of that corner. How does the game think he gained 1.5 seconds? Just such a stupid game. Dimon Ivanov keeping the gap to Dimitar Pankov reasonably stable. It's gone up a little bit, 5.4 seconds now. It was 4.6 seconds last time I looked. But yeah, keeping that reasonably stable. Ryan Sandel in third place. A distant third ahead of Jake Beatty. Jake still just in front of Sheikh Shabazz. I'm sure he cannot see Sheikh. Doesn't know he's got Sheikh right behind him, but he does. Sheikh Shabazz also thinks he's in fourth place right now, I can tell you that. I can confirm that it says fourth place on Sheikh Shabazz's string. With Ollie Smith in sixth place. So Ollie, mate, well, he's had a few bad laps here. Did a 2:03 on lap 19, 2:04 on lap 20, 2:03 on lap 21, and 2:03 on lap 22. So he's dropped off on the back of the guys in front, dropped off from that pack. Remember, Ollie was in fourth place after the round of pit stops, but I think his tyres may have let him down here. They have worn quite a lot. Ollie, remember, was one of the first guys to pit, pulled into the pits on lap 12, and yeah, he's suffering for that now. Tyres really are dropping off, falling off a cliff. In the lead of the race though, haven't checked in on Dimitar for ages, is Dimitar Penkov. Got a personal best of a 2:07 at the moment. Can't have thought he's going to be able to go for the fastest lap of the race. Not with the tyres looking like they are now. I would imagine that's a ship that has sailed. Probably is going to go to Dimon Ivanov. Tyre wear is, yeah, it's just too much really. Tyres are too worn out to really go for a fastest lap attempt. Oh, Ryan Sandel. He hasn't got that much fuel, you know. Look at this. He's already flashing red with 3 laps to go. Now, quick maths. Ugh, I'm not sure he's going to make it. You know, he's probably going to cross the line with like 0% left of a tank. Definitely appears to be cutting it fine this race. Ryan Sandel not getting his championship defence off to the best of starts. Looks like he's had a couple of crashes in this race. Not at the best of races. Bathurst also not a track which particularly suits his Viper due to the undulations of the mountain section. Back in season 1, the last time he raced at the circuit, Ryan finished, I think, second place. I think he finished 17 seconds behind me in first. Well, I think he finished third actually in that race. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he finished behind me in Dimitar, didn't he? So yeah, Ryan, not someone who's gone particularly well around this track. Did well around here though in Club 100 when we raced around here last season. So did well in the Group 3 cars in that race. I think he finished right at the front in first or second. So this could just be something to do with this specific car rather than him hating this track. As Jake has pulled away here from Sheikh Shabazz, as we're on lap 24 of the race here. Jake got the gap up to 1.8, so these two shouldn't be mounting each other anymore this race. It should be the end of the mounting process. Doesn't look like we're going to get any Sheikh and Jake babies. The iconic duo, don't think they're going to be doing any more mounting. As it looks like Jake's actually just made a mistake there. Got the gap now down to 1.2 seconds, was 1.8. Okay, apologies for that, viewers. The stream just crashed, or not the stream, my PC just crashed. Apologies for that. you didn't miss anything, but yeah, sorry for that. Don't know what just happened there. Don't know why my PC just crashed. I thought I'd fixed that issue, but seemingly I have not. That's very annoying. Thought I got on top of the PC issues, but no. As we come to the end of this racing, as we're into the final lap, we've got Dimitar Penkov still 5.5 seconds ahead of Dimitar Ivanov, with Ryan Saddle in P3 ahead of Jake Beatty. Jake Shabazz has managed to catch up to Jake here, so it looks like Jake's made a couple of errors, and yeah, has reeled the gap in. As they enter the final lap, is there going to be any battles here? Jake not quite in Jake's slipstream range as they come into Griffin's Bend for the final time at this race. Meanwhile, as Dimitar Penkov goes over the skyline for the final time, still got that gap to Dim at a pretty solid 5.5 seconds. Ryan now 7.2 seconds behind Diman, so it looks like Ryan's fallen back a little bit here from Diman Ivanov. But anyway, as we cut back to Dimitar Penkov, he comes into the chase. Looks like he's going to have plenty of fuel left. Looks like actually the Bulgarian did overfuel somewhat, but a little bit too much fuel when they pitted. As he comes into the final corner, braking at the tree on the right hand side, coming through Murray's corner, and as he comes out of this last corner then, Dimitar Penkov is going to win the opening round of Season 3 of the Medway Racing League Group 3 100 mile series. Going to come home in first place ahead of his best friend Dimitar Ivanov. So it's a Bulgarian 1-2. A very good showing here for the Bulgarians here at Bathurst. Ryan Sandel meanwhile going to come home in third place in his Dodge Viper. Going to go sideways across the line. As Jake Macy looks like he's just about managed to hold on to fourth place here. Has unknowingly got Jake Shabazz right behind him as he comes up to the start finish line, and he's going to come home in fourth place. Jake Shabazz thinks he's in fourth right now, but he's actually in fifth, as Ollie Smith coming through Murray's corner is going to come home in P6. Ollie's first race as a diamond driver, going to set a very solid sixth place. Johnny Newbold, around one of his least favourite circuits, looks like he's going to come home in seventh place, going to come home ahead of Adam Hill. So I think Johnny will be pleased to see this race over and done with, as he didn't serve his penalty actually, so he's going to carry his penalty across the line. As, wrong car, Adam Hill's going to come home in 8th in that Nissan GTR, his first race in Lobby 1 in a very, very, very long time. And then we go all the way back here. Whoops. We got Ankit Dash back on the Cornwall straight. Poor Ankit Dash in a lobby full of diamond drivers. And just last season was a blue driver, finished third in the blue licence. Irish Tony in 10th has already finished the race, as he finished a lap down, and Crawl Burrows is 2 laps down on the leaders and a lap down on everybody else. Meanwhile, Ankit Dash coming through the chase, bringing this race to a close. In fact, they're close. Are they close to one another? Yes, they are. Cool. We can look at both of them here. Crawl Burrows and Ankit Dash together as they come out the final corner to finish this race. 2 laps and 1 lap down respectively. Or no, 2 laps down for Crawl Burrows and on the leading lap actually for Ankit Dash. That is the end of the opening round of the season. Probably is going to be the last time that I commentate on the Group 3 100 mile series, to be honest, because this has been utterly boring to commentate on. I don't know why, how many of you are watching. I don't know why 6 of you are watching this. It's been complete borefest. There's been about 2 overtakes and that's about it. But thank you for watching nonetheless. If this works, no it does. Oh, it's going to work. Yes, you can see me. How did that work? I didn't think that was going to work. Hello everyone. Yeah, didn't expect that to work. I thought the camera was not going to work then. Yeah, hello. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy watching that. I hope you didn't fall asleep. I wouldn't blame you if you did. I kind of did, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching it anyway. Next up on this channel will be tomorrow's Group 3 Sprint Series. Not sure what I'm going to do with that at the moment. Not sure if I'm going to commentate or race in it. I shouldn't really race in it because it's my own series, and you know, I don't want to end up in a situation where I win my own series. That could be rather dodgy, but I might. I've made that next season a 6-round calendar because I don't know what's going on after August with my job, so I made it a 6-round calendar around my favourite circuits, so that's why I may take part in it, because they are all tracks which I do rather like. So yeah, that's what's going to be going on tomorrow. What are we saying in the live chat? Jake Beatty cannot see Sheikh Shabazz or Diman Ivanov. That's good. GT Sport being its usual crappy self. Apologies for the rude word. What are we saying? Yeah. Jake doesn't realise that he did mount and get rather sexual with Sheikh Shabazz in that race. I don't think he's quite aware, as he was rather on top of him in that race at one point. But yeah, guys, hope you did enjoy watching that. Do feel free to tune in to tomorrow's live stream, where I'll either be commentating or racing, one of the two. And until then, I will, see you all. I'll see you tomorrow.